What's happening, everybody? It's Tuesday. I know. We talked about Monday on Straight from the Streets, but scheduling and all those kind of things in life sometimes happens. But we coming to you on Tuesday. Can you dig it? Straight from the Streets with Shelton J, Brandon Whiting. Are you living? Are you just existing? Will be the topic tonight. Can you dig it? What is happening, my brothers and my sisters and everybody, my misses and my misters? So I said brothers and sisters, Mr. and Mrs. Can you dig it? We gonna get it in tonight. It is all good in the hood. I got my man 50 grand, Mr. Brandon Whiting on the line with me tonight. Right. Man, let the people know, man, who you are, what you do, and what you bring to the table. We're Straight from the Streets, Mr. Brandon Whiting. What's up, my brother? CKT,
man, what it is, bro.
Texas.
Yes, sir. What it is, man. It's always a blessing, bro. You be getting me crunk, bro. It's like I'm going to the basketball game, warming up.
Boy, y'all already know, man. We shoot layups, dunks, all that, man. We warming up, man. We warming up.
That's right. Yeah, man, Brandon White, Brandon Shelton, from my hometown, man. We've been rocking for a while, man, doing this show. And, I do motivational speaking, man, at the moving company. Kind of put it on hold right now, but it'll be back up and running probably next summer. That's what I'm looking at. But writing a book, man. My editor just contacted me, and she was like, "Man, the story is powerful," which is exciting. That she's reading it as she go, and she said, the story needs to be told as a youth. So and then the CD, man, it's in the last stages of getting mixed. Man,
right.
Trying to drop it. Me and Vincent, man, we're looking to drop something. Issues going on. He got to address in his family, so, he's not going to be with us tonight, but, we put that brother in our prayer.
Shout out to Vincent Booker.
Like that. But, yeah, it's just, we got to take care of what we got to take care of. But yes, sir. And then we're doing this show, which we so dedicated to with my brother Shelton. Yes, man, this is a blessing right here, bro. Right on.
Yes, sir. Man, we love doing these shows, people. We really do.
Love it.
I mean, we haven't been doing them as often as we like because scheduling and jobs and things of that nature. Just life happening, But at the end of the day, though, we always try to come back and bring you guys a banger on Think About It Radio, Straight from the Street show. And tonight is no different than any other night that we've been putting down shows for you guys. We're going to ask the question to you peoples. Are you living or just existing? Because there is a difference between living and existing. So we're going to chop that up tonight on the round table, if you will, with Mr. Brandon Whiting and Sheldon J on Think About It Radio, Straight from the Streets. Can you dig it? I thank you guys for tuning in. New fans, appreciate you. Old fans, you already know what time it is, with Straight from the Streets and Think About It Radio. So, Mr. Brandon Whiting, I'm going to allow you to kick the door in real quick, my brother, and ask, we'll ask you a little question, what do you believe living and existing? What do you think the difference is between those two?
Yes, man, existing, you just, you're doing the basics, you know what I mean? Animals exist, a chicken lays an egg. There's no great thing what a chicken does. Chickens have been doing the same thing for eons, Cows, we can go through, beavers been building dams. They're not constructing any, reconstructing it any different. So they just existing. And it's just like animals, they only eat what they kill that day. They don't think about the future. They just survival. So when you exist, it's just like, I'm just surviving. As you said one time, Sheldon, some people just work to pay bills. They don't go nowhere else. They don't think about anything else. But living, just like that song say, living your best life. You're trying to get everything, you're trying to reach your highest potential, your highest peak, tap into your greatness. And do great things, do more than just the bare minimum and the basics, you know what I'm saying? You want to travel, you want to travel in your mind, you want to travel physically, you want to reach new heights and, break down doors and barriers. So that's the difference, to me. Existing is just doing the basics and surviving, really, basically. But living it's like you are trying to get everything you can out of your life while you're on this earth. So when they put you in that ground, you done did it, bro. So that's what I think, bro.
That's definitely right, though, man, because when you live unapologetically, right? You live really without any kind of restraints or any kind of guards. You go live your life. You don't care what people think. You don't care what people say. You don't care what people do. You live your life because you got one. You got one. I don't know what happens after you pass away. I don't know what happens in eternity. We hear sermons about it. We read about it, but I don't know. I mean, how many people you know done died and came back and say, look here, Brandon, this was wasting you when you leave. When you leave this earth, this was going to happen. This was going to go down. No matter what you believe, no matter who you believe, you don't know. But what you do know is what you have right now. What you can't control is what you have right now. What does your right now say about you? And if you're desperate and despondent and depressed, figure it out. Figure it out. Make better decisions. Have better conversations. Do better things that's going to give you better results. Can you do it? Are you living or existing? Ask yourself that question every day when you wake up. If you wake up and you just, oh man, it's Monday, I'm miserable, I hate going to this job, you existing. If you wake up and you just say, you know what, I can't stand my life, I wish things were different, you are existing. But if you wake up and say, man, let's go get it, let's go grind, let's go seize the day, baby, guess what? You're living. You're living your best life. See, everybody's feeling that Snoop Dogg and Lil Duval song, right? I'm living my best life. I ain't got time. Whatever. You know what that song say, right? You know what I mean? And, you know, everybody loving that song, right? But are you living your best life? Or are you just existing? And if you're just existing, this is the show for you tonight to help you get to the point to where you living your life. Right.
And you know what? And you know what, bro?
Yes, sir.
And we hear that song because people want to feel good about themselves and everything. But the thing is, you know, a lot of times we let situations, you know, really bog us down. And, you know, sometimes we don't think, and we all do this because we're humans, the situations just only last for so long. You know, like certain things we go through that we may consider negative. Now, the time is not negative. It's just, it's teaching you something. You know what I mean? So it's your perception of things.
Lessons, man. Learning lessons.
So, like, and it's good to have people who are real good friends and have real good insight into things, because they will say things to make you look at it from another perspective. Because we flawed as human beings, and we short-sighted because we can't see outside ourselves, you know what I'm saying, or the situation at the time. But the situations usually only last for a little small period. It's not a big thing unless you decide to give more power to that. So you have the power, you know what I mean? Nobody can't make you do anything. Like people say, somebody made me mad. They really can't. Actually, they can't make you mad. You know, they can say things and you decide whether you want to be mad, you know, or whatever you feel about it.
Exactly.
And you decide how long you want to carry it. You know, if you want to carry hurt, you want to carry burdens, you decide that. So my philosophy, or my opinion, just like what you were saying earlier, bro, and I seen somebody put this on Facebook. They say people talk about the way you're doing good or bad, so let them talk. You know what I mean? Because that's why you got to be in tune with your star self. Like Cat Williams say, you know, you got to be in tune with that person in the mirror, because people, you know, because of their own insecurities, try to make you feel a certain way. And if you feed into that, that knocks you off your focus and your balance. If you give energy to that, then you just let them win. Because that's what some people want. You know, then they hide their hand. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. You know, you got people that do that. So, but that's all. But all that too is to keep you balanced too, because everybody ain't gonna be, you know, on your side or whatever. But you got to know who you are, and once you tap into who you are, then you're gonna live your best life. You know, you're gonna be doing big things. People people who trying to do great things, bro, they don't talk about people as much unless they trying to learn something. They talk about things. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit up and talking about what Sheldon doing, if I'm focused on you and trying to pick you apart, negative. I ain't talking about positive. If I'm looking at you and say, man, I want to, be motivated and start a podcast and other positive things you're doing, then that's good. But if I'm looking at you trying to pick you apart and negative, then I can't progress. So I'm too much worried about Sheldon's life. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't have that type of time to be trying to pick no human being apart. If I see you say something, bro, that's inspirational, I'm trying to learn from you. And if you have faults, I try to cover my brother's faults. I'm not trying to magnify your faults, bro, because we all got them.
We all got them. We all got them.
So I'm not gonna look at Sheldon and try to say, "Oh, I like what he said," but he could have used better words, or how he's dressed or something. You know what I'm saying? People always got the conjunctions, and you miss the whole message. You miss what's going on. So yes, we gotta live our best life, but you gotta be in tune with who you are, man. Because this world, do not let the world tell you who you are, because the world changes its opinion daily. So
every day, man. One day
they're
gonna love
you. You are.
The next day they're not gonna like you, man. But at the end of the day, do you like you? And if you like you, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, what anyone says, what anyone does. You are okay walking and riding in your lane. What your lane is, it doesn't have to look like nobody else. That's why they call it your lane. You're going to ride in that mama jamma like you need to ride in that mama jamma. Can you dig it? This all about straight from the streets. We talking about, again, are you living or existing? And if you just existing, 9 out of 10 times you are miserable. 9 out of 10 times you are unhappy. 9 out of 10 times that you are making everybody else's life a living hell from dealing with you and having to be around you, because why? You are just existing and you are not accomplishing anything. You are not using any of the talents that you have been given and born with, because you decided that this plan B was better than your plan A. How is it working for you, good people? Living or existing?
Hey, man, just like you said, you just said something that got my attention. People say, hey, you too nice or too friendly. There's no such thing as too nice or too friendly. It's something that's too negative. You know what I mean? Because really the human being was created to be nice and friendly toward each other. But you see, going back to what we were saying about the world, oh, man, don't be coming around me with that friendly stuff or whatever. But that's really the human being nature, to associate with each other and to learn from each other, to grow from each other. You know what I mean? Because we need each other. You know what I mean? So we need that motivation, that inspiration from each other as well. But it's just how you look at life, man. And I always bring up some of my past. When I was young, I just made a post on Facebook. I said, from state boots to work boots. I remember a time I was working for free in prison. I was going through that situation, and I know I'm blessed. I could be out here with my hand, robbing somebody, going back to the block selling drugs, or hanging around drug dealers, mistreating women. I could be doing all those things, but that's not living my best life. It's living a bad life, and it's going to reap a lot of consequences. It's going to hurt a lot of people in their wake. So, again, patience, some of these things, that's a learned behavior. We got to be patient. We got to be steadfast. But you got to know in your mind, things are not going to stay like they are. And don't look at the situation as negative if you're just struggling right now. You know what I mean? You're going to forever struggle. But the struggle is to teach you a lesson. You know what I mean? In your relationships, you struggle. You have disagreement, because you're growing. I seen something else, Shelton, earlier that caught my attention. And it was saying somebody who's single. Because I hear people say this. They say, I'm single. I'm trying to work on myself. Now, don't get me wrong. Being single you know, because couples break up